Your GDL game of the week is firstly Zero Aura with 8 KOs over 2 games for Wi-Fi, picking up the pieces very effectively versus both Carmen and Joey. Heatran for Carmen with a very effective, both bulky and fast tank set versus yours truly. Then we have Hacksters for Chuke, you will see. Mian Xiao for Jumper Cables with 6 KOs over 2 games versus myself and Davey. We have Donphan for Frank, who held it down very effectively versus Mystic. And then lastly, we have Kabutops for Mystic with a very interesting, very creative, bulky Terra Bug set, which was very cool to see versus Pookie. Then we have GDL2. We have Necrozma for Random Poplio with 2 impactful setup sets. Neither of them won their games, but both of them broke down the team enough so it could win. Melmetal for Ninja Warrior, who just completely massacred T-Busta's team. Tarina for Ryan with 2 fantastic all-rounder games. Alolan Sandslash for Master Danguid, winning 1 game versus Messiah by itself and nearly clutching the other versus Poplio. Then we have Lurantis for Necrotic, very, very solid defensive all-rounder performance versus Big Boss Mole. And then lastly, we have Pyroar for Moon, and the descriptions you will see. Good evening. You're joining me on a very, very long Wednesday. However, we are here for Game of the Week regardless. I'm joined by Duke Pittsburgh.
Howdy.
By Carmen from University.
Hello.
And for their debut, Mr. Wi-Fi.
Hello.
This week we're going to look at 3 Week 5 games and 1 Week 6 game, because every Week 6 GDL game was shit. Oh fuck, we've been demonetized. Oh no.
Hi.
We're looking at Carmen versus Wi-Fi. So it's really nice that they're gonna do the talking for us. We have Duke Pittsburgh versus Fish, which I'll move around actually. We have Uzbekistan versus Ryan, and lastly we have Moon versus Nebula. This one especially is very, very fire, and without further ado, we'll not start with that one. Yeah. Essentially, we kind of get into it with this game, but I'm not going to take the lead for it. I have 2 coaches in this call with me that can talk more about it than I can.
Okay. So the first thing I saw, and I mentioned it in the chat when the game starts up, is that I do see Keldeo Resolute. So that's an immediate sign of one of the moves at the very least.
Yeah, I did try to turn that off. I don't know how you're meant to do it. My first thoughts when seeing this matchup was Keldeo and Zero Aura are my obvious win cons, so I need to get damage on Gudra whatever, and voice crack. Damage on Gudra whatever and Landorus going down would be nice, or Starmie for Keldeo.
When building for this team, a lot of it came down to trying to out-offense a lot of Wi-Fi's very defensive options, especially like the Celebi with the Calm Mindsets, or like the Togekiss being like Fizdef, Roost, or whatever, and whatnot. But one thing was interesting, I didn't see Bronzong here at all, which was huge, because, well, Bulu, I can tell now, is Scarf. It's like a very offensive Bulu set, so not seeing Bronzong there is really big, because now I have Stone Edge coverage for Togekiss, and Woodhammer hits everything else, especially if the Celebi tears into like water or something else.
Or fair.
I also have some other
Would be same
offensive
thing.
options. Yeah, I also have some other offensive options, but those will be revealed later.
Yeah, I was very happy to see no Terrakion, because that thing absolutely destroyed my team. And no Heatran was interesting. I honestly don't know why Heatran didn't come, nor did Terrakion.
Well, I actually can chime in on that. You've brought a very anti-Heatran team here, with like Zero Aura can 2-shot it with close combat. Golisopod 1v1s it. Keldeo kills it. Togekiss can hit it with Aura Sphere, just like for Chip. So like it's Heatran beats Togekiss, but it's not a free switching. And obviously Celebi can either Terra or use Earth Power.
Bigger speeds exists, and it's like, well, you can't exactly super switch in, but like it offensively threatens it for sure.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Like what was like a Heatran on paper, it does work here, especially as my resist to the flying stab if you're like theoretically like, offensive Togekiss and whatnot. But I just didn't see a good place to really bring it, especially with the stuff I ended up bringing.
That being said, I think if I don't know if the Diggersby or Keldeo was Scoff. If neither of them are Scoff, then I think Scoff Eruption Heatran looks fantastic.
Yeah, neither
sure.
was Scarf.
Neither was Scarf, but I didn't want to risk the Scarf Eruption, honestly. I figured it just wasn't worth it.
I didn't think Bulu would come because I have so many grass resists. And
Now, do you really?
yeah. Well, okay. Well, that is put to the test in the game.
Alright, yeah. I reckon it's pretty good time to get into it.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say is that I did bring Scarf Bulu because I did not want to just get 6-0'd by Diggersby.
We have Big Chip turn 1, and he's dead.
Bigger Chip turn 1.
This was such a fantastic turn 1 in theory.
So here's the most. Let's go back to this kid. There's a Landorus Therian, right? And I have a Pokemon here, this Braviary, that is outsped by at least half of these guys. If I'm Carmen, I am calling it clicking Toxic or Knockoff trying to hit Landorus, and I'm just fucking attacking. I don't care that we're banded into a resisted move. Doesn't matter.
I should have figured that out, honestly, considering my opponent.
The relative value is the expected move for him is something that's not going to kill you, and you get free chip. You know, in this scenario, I think it's also worth it because it's a gamble that loses you essentially nothing. You know, even if Knockoff kills you because he's like banded or like, I don't know, muscle band or life orb, then Landorus still has his item because you didn't send him hard in.
Yeah, it's 100% slight in this play, honestly. Like, in my head, I was thinking, I didn't even realize I was in quick attack range from Diggersby either, but I think I am.
Yeah, but like, this is like extremely obviously when you're Zero Aura versus Landorus Theory, you know exactly what's going to do. It's going to either click Toxic or Knockoff.
Yeah, but it doesn't end up mattering because of the positioning I put myself in here. Or later.
Okay.
Yo, huge attack boost.
Well, I know it's secret sword, so it's not physical.
I mean, it could have been.
I did have Trailblade.
It could be mixed. What if it was Mega Horn for Starmie?
Not again. I already have memories of the Lapras clicking Mega Horn against me. Brutal.
I think we can see that this is going to be a very, very bulky Celebi that's just there because that's the best counter into the combination of Terrakion plus Starmie. Or Terrakion does also get bug moves, but Celebi can Terra if it's in a 1v1, because if I'm Wi-Fi and that worried about Terrakion, then I'll take that as a 1v1.
Yeah, if it goes Terra Water, then I just lose my Terrakion.
Yeah.
And it takes like maybe 50 at most after Terra Water. Like,
yeah, don't take shit.
But then we see this. Oh, no, not this turn. I'm misremembering this match completely.
No, it's this one, I think.
Yeah, so...
It's definitely, yeah.
This... And then, yeah.
Again, in this scenario, I kind of expected... If you, like, I think something you could have done is go, well, this is very good, obviously, but you could have also gone for, like, Sword Stance Adrenaline Orb.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I did not think of Adrenaline Orb, and I did have Agility. I think Terra after this game told me that I probably should have Agility there, but I kind of wanted the mid-ground of getting Chip on Bulu, but not, like, getting progress on Bulu if it came in.
I think
but
that,
also
I think
not
it's valid.
Diggersby.
I think it's valid because you don't one-shot Bulu with this anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't.
About that turn is that I sack Lando there. Like, I in my head, I'm like, yes, Ice Punch is coming. It might be Clear Amulet. But, like, in my head, I'm like, if it is Clear Amulet, that means Bulu outspeeds it. It's not running Scarf or anything like that.
I'm sure Bulu doesn't naturally.
It doesn't naturally, but like I said at the match, I am Scarf. So that works out better for me.
Yeah.
And I figured that like, the trade there at least get momentum. Losing Lando sucks, but I don't want to lose Muck there to a random EQ from the Diggersby. Because I need
it is
Muck
great.
theoretically against Togekiss if it's special attacking.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, we see some pretty good damage. I'm assuming it's just max Spadef versus, like, Analytic.
It's not. I'm 0 SPDF on this.
And I'm not analytic.
Well, that checks out. That balances each other out.
There it is.
So
And now,
we.
Where are your grass resists
no.
now?
and now we have our grass resist.
The beauty of max special attack modest Togekiss with 164 HP.
I mean,
Huge crit.
I don't know how much that mattered, unless you're absolute max fist step, which is not a real step because it's free momentum. But I think it's always funny when like a resisted move 2 shots.
Yeah, I was really happy to see that calc. I was like, worst case scenario, it's like full fizz death, and it doesn't work.
Okay, hold on.
So-
I wanna
What?
know. I wanna know. Okay, well, to be fair, if I'm.
I needed the chip
If-
for Blaze Kick to kill.
Oh, really?
Asking why I
So
did that.
you didn't think that like, you didn't think that wasn't Scarf? Okay.
No, I didn't think it. It was 100% Scoff because my Togekiss sped grabbed it anyways.
Okay, that's good info. Then it looks a little odd to me, but I guess that's fair. Because I think Diggersby...
Diggersby was my least valuable Pokemon here because Keldeo could still function as win condition if I got a Trailblaze off. And
I think Diggersby was
I needed
probably better into like
chip
Gudra
for-
and Muck, wouldn't it?
Kind of. But it does. Because I still can't kill Bulu reliably.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want things that force Bulu. Well, I guess Keldeo does. Yeah, that's kind of a 50-50 there. I probably could have sacked Keldeo as well, but yeah.
Zeraora is so fucking fast, I can still be faster. You need like
Yes, I just,
you need base 80 Scarf to be faster than Zeraora, which is stupid.
Mhm. And then we reveal the truth of the Gudra.
Get yeeted.
Is that banded?
It's banded Gudra, yes.
Amazing.
That being said,
This was rough though.
This is a big hit. So this is where, as you can see, the agency is up 4-1.
I think at this point I just got too excited about
Gudra
outrage
clicking,
killing twice.
Gudra clicking outrage like he's already won.
Literally, that's what happened.
All right.
I was
so,
so excited in that moment, and I just like got super tunnel visioned. It was brutal.
so we know the entire moveset. Toxic Plasma Fist, Blaze Kick, Volt Switch. So we can, if we can calc from Carmen's side, does the Zeraora live? Like, does Zeraora kill Gudra?
So I did a lot. This turn took a while because I did actually try to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Like realistically, my play was sacrifice, sack Starmie, and then bring in a Muck to get, because Muck can live 1 from Plasma Fist, easy, with the set I have. Click knockoff, remove item, Gudra lives, assuming, like, a Gudra lives regardless, and that's the crit.
Yeah.
However, in this moment, I was doing the calc, and I didn't think about Magnet. I was like, okay, it's clicked moves, there's no life orb, it's not that. It's clicked 2 moves, I think it's clicked Toxic and then something else, so it's not banded, or like choice item. So I'm thinking there's no other, and Muscle Band is 1.1, even that doesn't kill Gudra most of the time. So in my head I'm thinking Plasma Fist guaranteed doesn't kill Gudra from this range.
Yeah.
Obviously I don't consider Magnet, which then Magnet makes the calc very, very different.
Yeah, makes sense.
So in this moment, what I did try to do, and I messed this up completely, was I switch in Bulu. Because I think the grassy terrain will trigger on Gudra to give it more health.
I mean, regardless, going Bulu is the correct play. This is also
Yeah.
this is you can calc this. So you can
Oh,
calc
just to get
this.
intel, yeah.
Yeah. So firstly you calc this. You know now if it's banded, like what type of like damage boost it has, if any. You know if it's adamant or jolly. You know it's jolly because it has to outspeed Bulu, but you know just to double check. So what I think, if your calc suggests like a possibility of like a boosting item, then you would go Muck first, because there's
Or
essentially
sack
zero.
Starmie, then go into Muck.
I
Because I
think
don't want Muck to go too.
I think sacking Starmie is slightly better because if the forbidden happens and I get a ton of crits, then I can still miss Blaze Kick.
It's a very irrelevant difference at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah, it
So
didn't
here's
matter
the play
too
that
much.
ultimately just
Yeah.
ruins me.
That KOing, yeah. If Muck comes out first, and we do knock off that magnet, then you know,
Easy game. I'd never die unless to a crit.
yeah.
So here I'm just praying. It doesn't really do anything because like even if I get like a knockoff crit into a poison touch poison, it still isn't enough.
Yeah, you have to get both and like live another turn or something.
Like it still doesn't work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I understand why you would do it. It makes sense.
Ultimately, it is a misplay on my part. I just threw a 4-1 lead, all things considered. But you learn from these mistakes, and it wasn't necessarily the worst kind of thing to happen. Like, obviously, I didn't win the match, but I'm still proud of how I did and the sets that I brought.
I think the GOTW was
Yeah,
very
this game
fun.
this game was so close. It was a really good game.
We can't even boot up this game is lame, bro. We can't even boot up Wi-Fi. You only use like Toxic once. Who's this?
Yeah.
Nah, but I think it's really interesting to hear from both your perspectives. So yeah, thank both of you for
sure.
joining and recording. We
It
have
was
now
mistakes like in this match that helped me figure out the way I wanted to play my offensive cards and helped me a lot in the jumper cables match in week 7. In terms of like not getting too carried away with how offensive my mods are, and when I have a lead, don't like squander it or don't like try to fake difference, just win the game. And that was a big learning experience in this match.
Yeah, we have
This
now
game taught me
spent-
I should click Toxic more.
Fuck you too. Alright. Alright, we have now spent 15 minutes on this game. So we're gonna quickly go to the second one. Which we have Uzbekistan versus Ryan. So there's a trade secret. I may or may not have helped Ryan make his team. So I can represent the building here as well. So what we have is
So
yeah, well, you'll see.
sorry,
So what we
I
have
may or
is,
may not have helped. Oh, sorry, no, you
oh, you could
continue.
have helped Uzbekistan. Well, if you did, you didn't do it well enough.
Yeah,
so-
I did. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you didn't do it well enough then. It's a issue.
No,
But
unfortunately.
the main thing that we're looking at here, right, is that Thunderous Therian, which is just fucking stupid. I think it's like flying ice and water, and Ryan has no safe counters on his entire team for like that for all of them. It
Yeah, there's just not. You
guaranteed-
have to prepare for each option and hope for the best.
It guarantees has a super effective stab free. If it depending on what it chooses. So that's something that we're looking at here. So we have actually Hariyama Sama as Thunderous counter. So that's going to be a Koba Berry. So something you'll see in the game is what we have Nihilego for speed control. There's some other interesting things that we came up with tech. But the main game plan was just trying to somehow eliminate Thunderous. That means Hariyama couldn't do anything else. If it did anything else, Ryan could lose on the spot.
You could insta lose, yeah.
Yeah, because if it gets knocked by Incineroar, it's a very safe Incineroar switch-in. You lose your berry, you can lose. A lot of
Yeah,
chip,
for
you
sure.
can lose.
Any amount of chip damage from Leech Seed, Gorgai something, or even just any move from any of these mons really.
Yeah.
Even a U-turn. Well, U-turn's not gonna do that much, but still, the chip will accumulate.
Yeah.
And then you could just
Hazard.
lose. So, yeah, the hazards too.
Yeah.
Like from Metagross rocks.
Alright. So we lead Victini. We'll
We
dedicate
leave.
the lead into anything that wasn't that.
Okay, why is Serena our switch into Instant?
Well, I didn't play the game for Ryan, I can't tell you that.
Oh, okay, got it.
Interesting red card, though, I will say.
Yeah, the red card specifically for Gorgeist not being able to Poltergeist later.
Oh,
And
okay.
there was also a good
That's
failsafe for +1 Komodo trying to attack you, and then suddenly it's no longer capable of sweeping.
But now it doesn't really do much of I guess the Poltergeist now doesn't hit.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
small Poltergeist?
it's fast Gorgeist. So we have Big Frisk, really big Frisk.
Mm-hmm. Now we know.
I'm assuming it's gonna when I see this, I'm assuming it's gonna have Worry Seed. That's the reason to bring this shit. Oh, well, I guess that's better.
They'll swap, yeah. Oh, red card!
I'm not sure about giving you the opponent Frisk. That's an interesting choice.
I mean, yeah, that's an interesting one. I do think
Because
that
I'm worried that it's
Serena
better
get
in this scenario. Because you're not
insomnia?
bringing sleep.
Serena's
Yeah, it
just
gives them insomnia.
Serena's just a complete hardwall to Gorgeist's match. See some classic agency moves being clicked.
Okay, this is
Right.
scary.
What's the
Yeah.
Terra?
No.
Whoa!
Mood
That's way
Fairy.
worse. Holy crap.
So, Okay, so now here we go. If we're gonna go back to this stuff, right? This is our matchup. The Thunderous doesn't know if this is going to tear rock, electric, or
Okay.
grass. It's gonna have to assume it's electric because that would be the best possible option in Thunderous, right? You're not weak to
Stop the
anything.
terrifying.
You have to assume that, which means the most likely thing that's gonna come out is either is Terra Blast Water, but that aside, or like a coverage move, right? Terra, like, we'll probably have like Focus Blast, right? Ryan's Terra Grass on the Heligo. There is literally zero reason to not click it. Because he's
If
never
you're expecting like the coverage move or whatever.
he's never clicking Terra Blast Flying on a potential Terra Rock or Terra Electric. He would never
Or
do
with
that.
no Terra.
Right?
Because like if the intelligence doesn't Terra, then it's like the flying just
Yeah.
bumps into a wall.
Yeah, he would never Sludge Wave or Sludge Bomb into a Terra Rook. There's zero reason to not Terra. For the record, Power Gem is the correct safe play. But yeah, and Ryan doesn't Terra and loses Nihiligo. He does discuss it in the chat immediately, but
Mhm.
yeah. Then we have Nihiligo, which Rabombi picking up the kill. It is Specs for Rabombi.
Well, that is big.
Which
Because
also
Serena
big,
just seems to switch into like every move in the game.
what's also big
Like it
is
feels like
Uzbekistan definitely expected Victini there. If that was Heavy Slam, Serena's probably dead. Yeah. And we know
Yeah.
Gurgar's small, we know Talichi's gonna be fast, which means you just have to get rid of Victini and you kinda win the game. Well there's
Mhm.
Rabombi, but it becomes really good.
right. Oof.
Switch that into Ice Punch, not ideal.
We stay in just to get the
Quick,
damage.
not
Really.
enough.
You would say by the way that like Ryan risks the the weakness pull shield agility there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is true, but there's a failsafe against that on this team. So like I think in this scenario it is okay to click Earthquake. Because if
Well, like
yeah,
Serena's not
'cause-
red card anymore, so what's the failsafe?
you'll see.
Hariyama.
Oh, just existing.
You might find out. But I think it's
Oh.
just the fact that like if nothing happens, then you don't have to like review your tech effectively.
So we leave.
Oh, this was a really bad. Like these were a really bad combination of
This gets
rolls.
old.
if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
I want you to know that Ryan actually asked me, can we please not run Focus Blast? I was like, okay, if you want to make sure you always lose versus the Fire Dark type that's going to come into Wolverine, go for it.
So we keep Focus Blast and we do hit Focus Blast and we get a good roll on Focus Blast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the cat
Yeah,
dies.
you needed the like a high blue flare roll
my
and a high
goodness.
focus blast roll. Yeah, I didn't expect that to kill, to be honest.
I mean, it is Modest Nature Victini, so I definitely don't think that was a roll. And that kills.
The
Yeah.
guy just disintegrated. This, yeah.
But
So yeah,
And
that
now
went
we
crazy.
And
have
then here you.
Yeah, we now find
And
this
that
is
was
this is the failsafe that there
Oh,
was
okay,
for
right.
the Metagross.
And then Blue Flare probably kills back.
Yeah. However, I did prep this pretty quickly, and who the fuck preps for Gurgai's small beam max speed?
Oh, okay.
So you could have actually saved your Komodo hit
Oh, you
by Gorgeist after Incineroar, because in order to kill Incineroar it had to be modest to get those rolls.
so
Yeah, we lost both Scolipede and Como for that.
Yeah.
yeah, he could have kept one of them.
Oh yeah, 'cause you need to break the sash.
Yeah.
No, but if you break the sash, you can't Poltergeist.
Wait, what was the Victini
Oh,
item
true.
again?
Christina was Sash.
It was sash.
Sash.
But if you break
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
sash,
that
you
was
can't
a
Poltergeist.
25% roll on Komoa.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because like you wouldn't. No, you could have.
Oh wait, no, rocks were up, I guess.
Yeah.
Or Spike.
No, but like if he just does go Komodo first, if he goes Scolipede first, you click Earthquake, don't break it, there he goes Gorgeist. But that's also
Yeah.
a really hard read to like, because Scolipede's not going to tell you if it's modest or timid, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
So-
you still would assume that you're slower. But yeah,
Mm.
Serena just does completely sit on Gorgeist.
And now
Which
we
is,
just lose.
Yeah.
Cause like, what are we gonna do? Oh, that.
Oh wait, doesn't Ryan?
Wait.
Yeah, he's
Sacking the differential.
this is actually
Suboptimal
this is
play.
really big. This is actually, I can mention, Ryan needs a 4-0 win over Moon to overtake him via like direct differential.
Yeah, so this
but
map,
like,
this is
Would've been, like,
he loses,
3-0 instead.
but because of that, like this, he can't like get over necrotic or something if something happens. But yeah,
Mhm.
acrobatics is definitely like for Scolipede. Just there was something else on the team. I can't remember what it was. Someone else had flying beak. Oh yeah, Komodo. Just couldn't fit play rough. But yeah, I think interesting game from the sense that like that Thunderous. I think if Uzbekistan keeps that in the back for a little bit longer, force a little bit more chip onto Ryan's team, that can definitely win.
yeah.
I think it
Specs
was really
is
scary here with all his coverage.
Yeah, Spectre Romanian would have been like a very capable revenge killer into like most of these Pokemon.
Mhm.
So that's
yeah.
something
I guess it also took him off guard a lot too.
yeah, because who expects Spectre Romanian? Like, oh, okay, that's gonna click sticky web and do nothing else.
Yeah, you don't want to let him get webs for free, so I understand staying in with Thunderous there.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah, that's that game. Then we have, we have one of these guys in the call.
Yay.
Yes, Chuk Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
On at this moment in time, I believe like 0-4.
Yep.
Versus Fish, who I think was 2-2.
Yeah. This matchup is just Terra Captain Terror. Fish and I just do not have switch-ins to each other's Terra Captains. Because Fish has Terra Sigilif and Terra Staraptor.
Hello. Oh no, it's Staraptor, right?
Yes, Staraptor just chews through my whole team, and I don't have a dark type, and that's a Tinidlin Sigilif over there. Oh well.
Oh dear.
And then I have Haxorus, and Fish's Steel type is Cobalion, which in the Tapu Lele matchup isn't real, and his Fairy type is Ribombee, which switches
It's
into
not
Light
here.
Breeze with some discomfort.
Yeah.
Well, neither one is here, so that also helps.
Yeah.
I mean,
Terra,
I think.
Terra Dragon, Haxorus, Terra Psychic, Sigilif, it's just going to be who can take over the game better.
I mean, I think if I'm looking at that right, I'm assuming. I mean, I do obviously know some stuff about the sets that are brought to this game, but I'm assuming it's going to be either DD, SD Skillshot, or Scarf Haxorus. And Fistef Moltres with like Defog and U-Turn opens up literally perfectly into that. Because we just mentioned the two things that can stop Haxorus, and they both lose completely to Fistef Moltres unless Cobalion has room for Stone Edge. Which
Meanwhile, like the counterplay to Sigilif is like you have the Psychic Seed, Hallucin Outspeed, you have Ice Shard on Mamoswine. They have ways to get it off the field.
the counterplay to Sigilif is be faster.
That's what I mean.
I have
Like you
80
just like all
Registeel,
offense
that's
it.
it.
Yeah, I forgot the actual set, but I think on Team Preview this looks like the most Scarf Lele of all time.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
I'll just say it now, there are 5 choice scarves in this game.
Are they all on your
Wow.
team? They better not be.
I have 3 of them.
Scarf Break is
Scarf
still go
Reg is
crazy,
still
bro.
no better.
Me and the boys are funny. Yeah, wait, 3?
Yeah, I have 3 fishes too.
Oh yeah, I remember.
All of mine get revealed in this game.
I remember the last one. But yeah, I think what I'm definitely thinking, I very much agree on the Scarf Lele because otherwise Dragon Dance Zygarde is pretty stupid.
Yeah, you also want it for Nihiligo because it's a scary cleaner if you can chip Registeel down.
Yeah, that being said, I do think if you can chip Registeel down, which you should be able to get Sigilif to do with Terra Psychic Tinted Lens.
It's Terra Psychic, it's
Yeah.
Psychic
Yeah.
Fairy Dark.
Yeah.
Also, you have a Zygarde and a Rotom Heat.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, right, if you just hit that once or twice, it's not gonna like the Meteor Beam combo.
Yeah.
A Meteor Beam speed boost does kind of just win.
I just realized if Sigilif goes Terra Psychic in Psychic terrain, it gets the boost because it's grounded again.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it also gets
This
Oh my
matchup
goodness.
was just horrifying.
immunity to Ice Shard as well.
Does
Oh
it
my
get
goodness.
Expanding Force?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
He didn't bring it, so I don't think it does.
It does.
Sorry, spoilers, but oh wow, it does. How about that?
We see lead and also not and also Uther and Halucha. That might be one of the Scarfers. We see Zygarde going to be
Big
enabling.
facade.
We see Zygarde that's going to be enabling the spec Sigilyph by making everything slower.
Big facade.
Yeah, huge facade.
Never
And then
mind.
all the health is back.
Facade's a nice tech. With the pain split, we don't actually win this, but we do get rid of the. We should be able to
No, we don't.
Yeah.
effectively force a trade.
Saltfest, thick fat. Let's go.
No chip for
Oh,
you.
nuts.
Oh, I showed for me.
Yeah, but now
Yeah,
you
but-
send in Lele and there's no switchins.
Yeah.
So it's a.
6%
Switch-ins
chip.
include all of them.
AV Blastoise.
Yep.
Okay, we might have found the AV Blastoise.
And now we leave.
At Christmas
And
time,
Actually, really good chips to Registeel.
And then we paint
And the
split again.
leftovers.
Where's
Man,
your paint
Paint
split?
is so annoying.
It's a good thing I brought Psyshock.
Ooh,
Oh my goodness.
Did that crit matter?
no.
That absolutely mattered. Yes,
Yes, but
I
no.
would have killed him next turn, but yeah. In
Well, actually,
terms of killing it on the spot, yes.
I would argue that actually it was pretty bad for Duke.
Oh yeah, because now Sigilyph has an extra turn in terrain.
Yeah, it's gonna have that terrain boosted turn in Registeel.
I assume we go Registeel, yeah?
Oh yeah.
We have to.
Oh, I did not have a choice.
Yeah, huge chip on Registeel.
Like fuck my.
Yeah, I just seismic tossed. Whoops. Because I didn't know what was gonna come in,
Can I say
and then I. Oh, sorry. You go.
I know this Registeel's Assault Fest. AV Max Spadef Registeel taking that much is fucking crazy.
I
We love
know.
defense.
Oh man.
I figured he was just gonna glare again. Because
Are you limber?
fun fact, this is Scarf Limber Halucha. I shouldn't have switched turn 1.
Incredible. Oh, you live.
Okay, well that's actually quite good in a way. We were worried about the Zygarde, which can definitely also speed Tylele. It's
Yeah.
not going to have E-speed because, well,
Psychic terrain,
it probably needs a coverage move to just like blow past something.
deterring priority since what 2016.
Okay, so we have Haxorus here.
We send
Is
out
this like Fist F Decidueye?
Mr. Haxorus. I'm
Fish and
feeling. What was that?
Oh, I was gonna say Fish and I had some similar ideas with what to do in a 4-4 game. No,
I've-
we both lost a Pokemon. We both want momentum, or like we both want the ability to act. So
Yeah.
I picked Haxorus.
Oh my
I picked
goodness.
Scarf Haxorus. So unfortunately, Scarf Decidueye didn't have a chance.
Oh, he was Scarf Decidueye. Incredible.
Yeah.
Need
So
to scarf
there's
my
Scarf by
Heligo.
Heligo. So now, as you can see, the agency once again is up 4-1, and we're clicking outrage like we've already won.
You and I are more alike than it seems.
you see me. Then there's Chunkies in
Oh yeah.
He's dead.
Uh,
This is way
Yeah.
too familiar, actually. Holy.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it
in this scenario, we know like from the damage that it specs Lily. We can just
Yep.
stay
Our
in.
specs are-
Effectively, Duke, you can explain it. Why am I doing it?
So yeah, no, the play that guarantees I win the game is just to sack Moltres or Registeel and then go back to Haxorus just to win, and I'd
But
win
where have we
3-0.
seen
But
this before?
yeah, in my head, at this point in the season, I'm 0-4 minus like 11 or 12, and I'm like, if I want to have a chance at playoffs, I've kind of got to make a big move because, you know, I'm way behind. So, and I'm theoretically still alive. Spoilers, I'm not anymore. But
Well, you're alive for the
I thought-
relegation race.
well, yeah, I'm leading the relegation race at the moment.
Yeah,
But
but yeah.
I figured that
No, I think I just doubt you're 12.
no,
You should be fine.
if I click outrage 100 times on average, I'll win by like 3 1/3.
Yeah.
Whereas if I switch, I win by 3. So I figured the numbers were in my favor to click outrage there.
I mean, personally, I would just take the guaranteed 3-0.
Yeah. I mean,
But we do still win,
a
thankfully.
dub is a dub is a dub.
Yeah.
I figured I had it won regardless because I knew Moltres was bulky, and Registeel was not going to die to a Psychic.
Yeah, as long as you don't send out Lele fast, then you're good.
And here's the first game I've won on Game of the Week in 6 seasons.
There you go. There you go, man. All right, then we have the last game. Well, before that, I do want to shout out. Shit, just it's always so funny when a full health Pokemon comes out for the first time and just fucking dies.
Also, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that Haxorus named Haxorus has resulted in the most hacks against the user in the entire season.
Yes.
That is possible.
I think it's between this and the Serene Grace Jirachi.
I think a couple years ago, like I had a Thundurus named it Thundarus. Exact same idea. But yeah, lastly we have GDL2 feature. We have Moon. Also, a previous participant from Season 4. We have Nebulon, one of the best players in recent memory.
For GDL 2,
Yes.
I will say, Pyroar is the first mon in the builder.
It's some shit when Pyroar is the first one in the builder.
You
Yeah,
know
but then-
something's going on.
On the contrary, Steelix is the first Pokemon in the builder.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know, I think Pyro does pretty well against Steelix and Tangrowth. It's
I
not a
mean-
horrible idea.
Yeah,
I mean-
in the
I understand why Steelix is the best Pokemon in the builder, because there's a flying ice and fairy Thundurus.
oh, is it not water?
No, that's Thundurus T for both me and Uzbekistan. So I understand
What's the
wanting-
one in GDL 1? Or is that even?
That's not Terra.
Oh, it's not Terra.
No.
Oh.
We see Jumpluff. Jumpluff has
What's
one
Jumpluff
thing
do?
that it does. It sets up screens and dies.
Yeah, I'm not
Or it
sure. Fast Sleep Powder into Prey?
Yeah,
It's a decent Zygarde answer because it gets Strength Sap, Sleep Powder.
but one I'm assuming definitely like Fistef, Unaware Clef, because we need to check that Terra Buzzwole. We need to check that potential SD Garchomp. And we don't also take too much from the other guys. If I'm Moon, I'm pretty running DD mixed because I would go like on for Alligator. I should clarify.
Oh.
Not on Zygarde. Even though Zygarde,
What, you want Sludge Wave?
there's an argument for Sludge Wave, yeah. But I'm thinking Ice Beam with Sheer Force Life Orb is so strong against Tangrowth.
He
and
also wants something to hit the Buzzwole when it tears, right? Because it's much weaker on the special side.
Yeah, for sure. So that's something I would do. I think Pyroar is actually quite interesting. If it's like Terra Fire specs, there's like not that many switch-ins to it. We do see
Which
Yeah,
might
on
be
we see interestingly female Pyroar, which suggests rivalry can work.
well, Mortis is guaranteed female, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that's why. I think the only thing everyone's nerves like you would never run Moxie. So if you don't see a nerve, then you know rivalry.
Unless we run physical Pyroar for some reason.
Watch out for weak eggs, bro.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
yeah, Gate is really good here for endgame.
Who? Oh, Gator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I heard Gate. But,
Yeah.
Like, who's that?
Oh yeah, Gator because it can if Tangrowth doesn't watch its health, it just gets ice punched, and
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, Gator's like very underrated in my opinion.
100%.
We'll lead Terra Thunderous.
We're scared of the flying move, so we leave.
No flying move.
Don't you hate when you switch out? When you switch out and then your opponent clicks U-turn? It's like one of the
You
most
know that-
powerless feelings.
You know they're gonna
Oh,
click
dude,
U-turn.
terrible.
You absolutely know for a fact.
Okay.
But you just can't risk the non-U-turn.
Yeah, notably, special attacker switches into Florges.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and it also didn't show on Nerf. So
Yeah.
either it's the Moxie one or it's the Rivalry one.
Which is not good
it
for
does-
fighters.
What moves does this Pokemon even get?
Terrify or
Avalanche.
Overheat.
One, it gets nothing. It gets Iron
Oh,
Tail.
it's Pantera.
Yeah, Pyro
This
can
could be the Moxie Iron Tail set.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
Oh, there's Double Edge.
Jesus.
We were mixed.
I mean, obviously,
Amazing.
the double edge only going to be used for Forges. You're not gonna run for.
Well, we could have been the
physical.
Moxies that you never know.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fair.
no Moxie's disappointing,
But
honestly.
now we know it's not because we killed
Yeah.
Florges.
I'm just something that like Neville also pointed out in post-match chat. Like, if there's something with rivalry, and you have something that's gender look, make the other guys like the other gender. You know, if we have male Garchomp, if we have like, male Garchomp would be pretty like safe such into it. But
We set screens.
and then died the fire.
We
move.
died.
Oh no, we don't
were-
die. We don't.
No!
Die. We're good. We're good.
We've never died in our life.
Never
Oh,
mind.
never mind.
Sure.
Well, that aged like milk.
Okay, we Terra immediately. We're an offensive Terra, which is Interesting.
Terrifying offensive Buzzwole.
that's
Yo.
behind screens is terrifying. Yeah.
Yo, Slice. Stop
Well-
bringing Rocket Helmet, you pussy. All right.
Christ.
Yeah, that, he,
Why did
yeah.
you say sliced?
I said Slice on purpose.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm still convinced this has to be unaware just because there's Beast Boost, because there's like SD Garchomp.
We go Pyro next.
I mean, that probably means that they calc that it's like a boosting item, right? On,
I mean,
for his
it
fortress.
might be Magic God, because Magic God, Moonblast, Flamethrower, especially when you have a set that baits in Florges and removes it, is quite good into this team.
I agree.
Like
But
with
what's your-
Magic God Life Orb.
What's your play into Scarf Buzzwole?
Hope and Pray.
Yeah, that sounds valid to me. Yeah, it's
We
definitely.
leave.
Yeah. Oh Jesus
And we-
Christ.
Rivalry!
Yeah, I mean, if it was Scarf that mattered. If it was Scarf that mattered, because then, you know, the Garchomp would get hidden, but otherwise.
I think that was also a 12% roll.
And,
So we are mixed. Yeah, that's huge.
yep.
That was through the screen.
Yeah, the Gator is scary,
Life
bro.
orb.
Yeah, we.
Oh my
Spectral
goodness.
Gator.
But yeah,
And
this-
it's, yep.
yeah, I didn't actually really expect the fully special, but it absolutely worked very well. You can see.
Okay, well, hold on. Our fighting switch and just, yep.
Yeah, but we've really learned that it's
Gotta
banded,
erase.
so
I think this
And now we can go Pyro
may
again?
have been this may have been the offensive Clefable.
okay, we
Oh, let me check. No.
Interesting. I'm very confused.
we
now we
die.
Pyro.
okay. That
No, we
works,
don't.
but I feel like Moon could have just 4-0'd by just not tiring
Yeah,
that
we-
turn.
Pyro just wins.
Well, you don't want to miss Fire Blast, and Hyper Voice might not kill because of rivalry.
Okay, can I point
But
out?
Pyro
yeah.
is so hype.
That's fair.
Does
Can I,
Buzzwole have gender? I don't remember.
It does not.
Buzzle
no,
doesn't know.
Hyper Voice might not kill Steelix, because
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
What I do like is we see 1,000 waves, not arrows. Something that like suggests is we're actually going to try to be trapping Garchomp, Florges, or mainly Tangrowth with that. Some like a reason if you're playing that decks or like a place where Subtoxic isn't banned. I have seen 1,000 waves Subtoxic Delgard beat Tangrowth, which is really funny.
Yeah.
I'd have to guess that Sub Coil Split F then.
Oh,
No,
Jesus
it's
Christ!
Assault Vest. It's Assault Vest in special. It has Core Enforcer and Sludge Wave.
That is
Oh.
stupid. I mean, it makes sense. You trap the Tangrowth and then you try to dispatch him.
Yeah.
What Sludge Wave? Oh yeah, Tangrowth.
It's not a bad idea.
Remember what I was
I
saying
like
earlier?
Core Enforcer for cancelling Regenerator.
Remember what I was saying earlier
When-
about
when
listening
those
full
can't
health
split.
Pokemon?
Yeah, that's really bad. That was brutal.
Yeah, sorry, I took through the Wi-Fi. What were you saying?
Oh, never mind.
Oh, okay, sick.
Excellent content.
Let's go Pyro.
Yeah, it sure did melt the entire team. Yeah, I think this captures most of the game. I do agree that the Terrified Buzzwole into No Ghost just like went stupid.
That was insane, yeah. If it didn't get offensively threatened now, that was just the game.
But I think it's always cool when like a low tier pops off, right?
Yeah.
Well,
because
except when you're on the
Especially with a
receiving
low
end, and it's quite
stability.
sad.
I'd rather lose if I'm playing Wi-Fi. I'd rather lose to like somehow giving the Turtonator a free shell smash than to Zero Aura being a pussy. You know.
I am going to bring Toxic Turtonator versus you if I play you in playoffs.
Okay, I'm gonna
You
ban
mean
you
Shell
from the
Smash
server.
Toxic?
Anyways, Shook, this is obviously a calling that you need to run Rivalry Haxorus.
I've been thinking about it. I don't think I've had a good opportunity.
There was a time because Unnerve and Moldbreaker both show that Gangster, I think, had Hisuian Zoroark and Haxorus on his team.
Oh.
That's so smart.
So he brought Rivalry Haxorus, so people thought it was Zoroark. However, he was playing a noob who didn't register any of that, so it didn't matter. But
Yeah, and then you
That's
missed
really
the
good
kill
prep.
because of Rivalry anyways.
it is funny.
I do like that Rivalry is just a very unique ability in Pokemon. Like, it's just something really specific, but it is interesting at the very least.
It is also bad.
It's not.
Oh,
It's not
absolutely.
out. Okay.
It's unique, which I really appreciate.
In Pokemon balancing terms, it's not outright good, but it's not outright bad. Which, you know, it's neat for Pokemon when you have abilities like Aura, Calc, and Pulse.
Yeah.
Which is just like, here's the sun, plus also just, it's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna just wrap it up here. Seeing as we have a new guest Wi-Fi, if anyone makes it to the end of the video somehow, listening to us for 45 minutes, what's something that you would like to see them comment about?
Favorite rivalry-related incident? I don't know.
What's your favorite thing to do when the agency goes up 4-1?
Yeah,
Like
something
this.
like that. Sure, that works.
Alright, see you guys.
See ya.
See you.
Goodbye.